Happy Saturday, everyone. This is Jen. We are on for Slow It Down Saturday this evening. I bet a lot of you are off doing holiday things, but I figured we'd still have class just in case you wanted to get away from it all. We're doing some slower things today. Hey, Hitesh. So you don't need any equipment. It's basically more of a yoga flow, and I thought we'd work on a little bit of asymmetrical stuff today. So asymmetrical stuff like we've been working on. Yesterday we did some asymmetrical push-ups. We will try some asymmetrical arm balances today, hey Mal, and see how that goes from there. But of course, this is also a time to slow things down and stretch things out. So though we will have that strength component of it all, we will still slow it down and stretch things out so that we balance all the work from our week and have some good time to relax, to enjoy our space and all that wonderful stuff. You know, it's funny, this morning I didn't do my usual routine of doing every single thing, and it was kind of nice. Like, even though nothing is really feeling different about this holiday weekend, it does somehow in my mind feel different. So I took the time to like bake and to make this really nice and very easy to make salad. It was like broccoli, chickpeas, cumin, and I put raisins in there, cooked those up as well, and some garlic, and it was really, really nice. So I will say with garlic, we have to be careful unless you're a garlic lover. I am a garlic lover, but I remember one time I put like just a clove of raw garlic into my smoothie, and that smoothie became a garlic smoothie. So same here thing with this salad. The first batch I did, it was just like chopped up raw garlic, and it was quite potent. You can just smell it the moment you open up the lid and everything. But I've learned my lessons. The second batch, I cooked it up a little bit longer. But anyway, we will go ahead and get started. Music is just for background, nothing to the beat or anything, all right? And again, you don't need any equipment. We'll go ahead and get started. Super chill. So, find your left leg crossed in front of your right, just in a comfortable seat. Nothing crazy. Relax your arms down, close down your eyes. We'll take it slow, couple of deep breaths to begin. Full deep inhale. Find length out of the crown of your head up toward the ceiling. Exhale. Stay tall, stay lifted. Just relax your face, your neck, your shoulders. Do that one more time. Full deep inhale. Long, slow exhale. Take your chin into your chest nice and slow. And keeping your eyes closed, start to roll your head over to your left shoulder. Take your time now as you continue to roll your head all the way back toward the back of the room. Head to your right shoulder. Chin down toward your chest. And then take a pause when your head lands over your left shoulder. Keep your eyes closed. Wrap your right arm around your back. And take your left hand to grab your right wrist. Maybe pull it out a little bit farther to your left. Drop your head over to your left, closer to your shoulder. Feel that stretch gently increase down the right side of your neck. Just one more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Gently release your arms back to your lap. Tuck your chin toward your chest. And let your head roll to your right side. Right shoulder. And especially as your head rolls back toward the back of the room, lift your chest up just a little bit taller. Stay lifted. toward your chest. Find a pause when your head lands over your right shoulder. And then take your left hand, your left arm, wrap it around your back. Right hand reaches for your left wrist. Give it a gentle nudge over to the right hand side. And then let your right shoulder drop, your head drop over to your right shoulder. Just let gravity do its thing. A little bit of a deeper stretch down the left side of your neck. Gently release your arms back toward your lap. Tuck your chin toward your chest. Your next inhale, lift your chin up. Open your eyes. Good. Lean back just a little bit, and then we'll switch out our legs. So right leg in front of your left. Take an inhale, arms go all the way up high toward the ceiling. We're just doing an open arm twist to your right hand side. So nice and easy, mild twist. Maybe you look toward your right fingers. Inhale, arms go all the way up high toward the ceiling, come back through center. And exhale, twist to your left. Again, mild twist, so take your time. Yes, look toward your left fingers. Inhale, lift your arms up high toward the ceiling. Exhale, cactus, lift your chest up. Broaden out through your front body. And then on your next inhale, draw your arms up and then even slightly back behind you for some cat-cows. Exhale, round. And inhale, go open your chest. See if you can start to draw your arms back. Open up your shoulders, your chest. Exhale, round. Separate your shoulder blades. Twice more here. Inhale, go open up through your chest. So nice, keep it active. Exhale, we round. Relax your shoulders down away from your ears. It's your final one here. Inhale. Continue to open up through your chest. Yes, looking good, Kristen. Draw your arms back. Exhale, round. Take your time. Hollow out your chest. Good. Inhale, find your neutral spine here. Just arms straight up high toward the ceiling. Exhale, push out the air, right, left, down. Good. We move into tabletop next. So just roll over your legs. Find your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. Take your left arm forward, your right leg back. Left arm forward, right leg back. Good. From here, pick up your bottom foot, your left foot up off of the floor. Hold right here for 4, 2, and 1. Lower your left hand down. Kickstand your left foot out to the left and lift your right arm up high toward the ceiling. Stack your shoulders, stack your wrists. Good, maybe look up toward your right fingers. Good, from here, lower your right foot down. Reach your left arm all the way up, slide your right fingers down your right leg. Find your side body stretch. Good, and then return to your modified half moon. Left hand down, right leg up. Nice. One more time. Lower your right foot down. Lift your left arm up. Find your side body stretch. Beautiful. Return to the modified half moon. Find your place. From here, lower your right hand down, square off your hips, and then bring your left foot up into the air, square it off again. Good, keeping your left foot up. Send your right leg out to the right. Good, return, bring it back. Square off your hips. Last time here, send your right leg out to the right, side of your foot faces the ceiling. We'll hold this one real quick. Firm up through your right arm. See if you can lift your left fingers up off of the floor. Maybe start with a tent. And if that tenting works, maybe start to reach your left arm out to the left. Yes. Lower your left hand down. Send your right leg back behind you. Lower your left foot. Good, and lower your right knee down. Nice. Let's switch out the other side then. Right arm forward, left leg back. Already really firm up your core, you got it. Pick up your right foot, your back foot up off of the floor. Focus one point. Nice. Press into the pads of your left fingers. Good. Start to lower your right hand down, kickstand your right foot out to the right. Modified half moon, lift your left arm up high toward the ceiling. Maybe look up toward your left fingers. All right, as you lower your left foot down, lift your right arm up, side body stretch. Lift up on your left hand side, lengthen down your right side body. Good, switch it out now. Lower your right hand down. Lift your left arm up, left leg up. One more time. Lower your left foot down. Reach your right arm all the way up. Find your side body stretch. Lengthen, lift, lift, lift. Good. Gently release back into that modified half moon. Good. As you lower your left hand down, square off your hips and pick up your back foot. Square off everything back to where we started. Push your chest away. Send your left leg out to your left, kick it. Your right foot still off of the floor. Good, send it back behind. One more time now, kick it out to the left. Side of your foot faces the ceiling. And then firm up your left arm, really strong here. Start maybe with a tent of your right fingers. And if it still feels okay, start to maybe bring your right arm out to the right. Good. Pull your navel in tight, press into the pads of your left fingers. Nice. Lower your right hand down. Send your left leg all the way back. Lower your foot, lower your knee back up. Awesome. Those were not super easy. All right, from here, we'll do a couple of hip circles. So, starting with your right leg, kicking up into the air, 90 degrees. Send your right knee out to the right, very similar to what we did earlier. And then circle it towards your chest, bring it in. All right, start again then. Sole of your foot up, circle your knee out to the right, lower it toward your chest and then down. Again, kick your sole of your foot up, circle it out to the right, knee toward your chest, and lower down. Last time, kick all the way up, out to the side, knee toward your chest, and lower. From here, tuck your left toes in, move into three-legged dog, send your right leg up high toward the ceiling, lift. Kick your right leg out to the right, straight right leg, and then lower your feet close toward each other. 3 more, so kick your heel up, keep it up high as you circle out to the right, and close your feet together. Twice more, go. Lift your right heel up, kick out toward the side. Good, bring your feet closer together. Last time, go lift. Kick out toward the side, you got it. And bring it back in. From here, come up onto your left toes, lower yourself back onto tabletop, both knees on the floor. Very good. Let's switch up our sides then. Just those hip circles, nice transitions. Send the sole of your foot up toward the ceiling, 90 degrees here with your left leg out to the left. Circle it toward your chest. Lower your leg down. 3 more times. Sole of your foot up, your square, and then open out toward your chest. Return. Twice more. Go lift. Notice your right foot ankle. Send your left leg out to the left. Yup, chest. And return. So your right foot ankle is flat against the floor best you can. Sole of your foot up. Left knee out to the left. Toward your chest. And lower down. Tuck your right toes in. Move into three-legged dog. Send your left leg all the way back and up. You got it. From here, kick out to the left. Circle it until your feet are closer together. 3 more times. Go kick your left leg up. Good, circle it out to your left. Keep your left leg up high. And circle it down. Twice more, you got it. Send your weight back into your right leg. Kick out to your left. And bring your feet closer together. One more time. Left heel all the way up. Keep it up high, out to your left. Nice. And close together. From here, you come up onto your right toes, return to tabletop. Very good. And then from here, let's extend our arms longer in front of us. Our first puppy stretch, just to open up our chest here, hips above your knees. Your forehead can touch the floor, or you can let your chest start to melt, your chin come down toward the floor as well. Try in this position to relax your brow. Good, hold for 4, 3, 2, 1, very nice. Come back up, your next inhale, find tabletop. All right, send your legs back behind, move into high plank, push away. This is the only time we'll kind of be more square. We're gonna start to move into asymmetrical stuff. So shift your body weight forward, shoulders over wrists, hug your arms, elbows in, bend like 4 inches. Push away and take it back. One more time, shift your body weight forward, bend again 4 inches or so, bend. And push away. Return. From here, very, very carefully, let's see if we can lower this left forearm down to the floor. Good. And then make any adjustments you need to make. You're there. I know this is not a strength class, but we'll do 4 push-ups here. Use your right arm to do most of the work. Push away. These are pretty slow. So bend your right arm, let your whole body move as a piece. Push away. Good, just twice more, you're doing it. Bend and push away. Last time here, bend, let your whole body move one piece. Push away, excellent. Lower down to your knees, and then from here, we're gonna push into our right hand, so bring your right hand in a little bit closer, push the floor away, send your left arm, thread it through to your right hand side, and lie down. Good, once you're in that place, square yourself off, and then bend up your left leg. Bend up your left leg so it's 90 degrees, and then return to that place where you get that nice shoulder stretch, and then as you push into your right palm, any amount, right, you should feel a nice little twist in your spine, and also maybe a stretch through your left side hip as it sort of blocks you from twisting any farther. So take your time, push into your right palm, keep your right elbow hugged in fairly tight, open your chest. Hold for 4, flex your left foot. Hold for 3, open your chest, 2. And 1, gently release. Good. Push into your right palm, push into your left palm. You have both hands on either side. Tuck your right toes in. We'll push up into a high plank, but I want your left knee to move to your left tricep best you can. So one strong, solid piece. Push away, left knee to your left tri, and send your left toes back. From here, your right forearm, let's let it gently fall down toward the floor. As gracefully as we can make it. Some days are more graceful than others, let's be honest. All right, so you're in this asymmetrical position. We've got 4 push-ups then. So bend your left arm, you're moving in one piece. Push away. 3 more times. So bend, move one piece. Push away. Good, twice more, you got it. Bend. Push away. And since these are kind of slow, definitely take your time and see how far you can go, saving enough room to push yourself back out of it. Nice. All right, so gently lower down to your knees, push into your left palm, and send your right arm through to your left side. Gently lower yourself down. And from this place, feel that nice little stretch for your right shoulder already. We'll bend this right leg up. Push into your left palm as much as you need to square yourself off before you're in that place. So it looks sort of like this. And then from here, push into your left palm and open up through your chest. Draw your left shoulder back and find your good twist. Good stretch through your right side hip. Take advantage of your exhales to maybe allow your body to melt, go a little bit deeper into your twist, into your stretch. Good, gently, let's undo this. So push into your left palm, bring your right palm back down, lower yourself back down. And then as we lift ourselves back up, push into your palms, get your right knee to your right tricep. So here we go, tuck your left toes in, right? I'm tucked. Firm up your core, push away, right knee to right tri. Yes, send your right toes back, downward facing dog. Find that place. Breathe nice, easy. Good, look forward, step forward. Inhale, halfway. Lengthen through your spine. Exhale, fold. Find a little squat position, so allow your heels to lift up off the floor. And then push your knees slightly down toward the floor. So you're angled downwards in your thighs. Bring your hands to the center of your chest. Good. Inhale, arms all the way up high toward the ceiling, just like we did in the beginning of class. We'll just take an open arm twist. So twist out to your right hand side. Good, and then from here, lift your left arm up like you're doing an exalted warrior, right? Allow your right fingers either to hover against the floor or even touch the floor. If you can reach, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm there. And then from here, from your exalted, let's move this left elbow outside of your right thigh, just for a quick tap, right? No big deal. And then inhale, go back into your exalted. This exalted is a little bit trickier than when you're in the lunge, isn't that right? And then exhale, elbow, just a little tap outside of your right thigh. One more time. Inhale, exalted. Good. Squeeze your knees, your thighs together. Exhale, elbow outside of your right thigh. All right, from this place, I'm not like really twisted, so I want to use my manual assist to help me twist deeper. Use your right hand against your right thigh to push it out of the way. So you can hook a little bit more of your left arm outside, hands to the center of your chest. Good. From this place, start to look past your right shoulder, continue to lengthen out through the crown of your head. All right, so as promised, we will not do any symmetrical arm balances. We'll experiment with some asymmetrical arm balances. So let's see how this works. As we lower ourselves down into side crow, we're gonna attempt this. The shelf side, which is our left arm, will stay on our hand, right? And then the right side will go down to our forearm. I'm gonna scoot back a little bit. So this ought to alleviate like some like wrist issues that you might experience oftentimes when you do like too many arm balances in a row. I definitely feel like a strain in my wrist sometimes. So that's definitely a huge pro of doing these asymmetrical ones. I will say that sometimes these are a bit more challenging to execute though, right? Just because you're so darn close to the floor. All right, so once you have your really good twist, remember if you don't like any of this, you can always skip it and stay in your twist. Keep your left hand down. Lower yourself gracefully, just like we did last push-up, into your right forearm. And you want to lean kind of a lot. Pick up your right set of toes. Pick up your left set of toes. And for me, somehow in this asymmetrical position, it's like my left wrist, even though it's bearing a lot of the weight, it's not quite so aggressive as when I do two hands on the floor. Somehow, being able to lean on the forearm feels quite a bit nicer on my wrist. So, you've given it one try, give it one more try, your second round. Like most of these arm balances, for it to work, we need a really good shelf. So think of anything above your elbow, right, as your good shelf. So I really like, as much as I can, to think of my armpit. Obviously, my armpit's not gonna get to the outside of my thigh, but I'm trying, right? So, as much surface area as I can get. Let me see if I can do it from a different angle. Okay. Once I have that shelf, right, which is the surface area that my thigh and my arm are touching, I'm gonna start to lower myself down to my right forearm. Shift. You're pretty close to the floor. Lift your right toes up. Lift your left toes up. And for me, actually, I feel quite a bit balanced here. I say that as I'm wobbling, trying to look for you guys. But I feel like I'm able to stay in it in a quite a bit more like sustainable fashion. So that's my experience, but you tell me yours. When you're through with that, let's go ahead and find ourselves a seat just to lengthen out these legs a little bit, give it a little shake. All right, once you've given it a little shake, we'll reinforce that twist, but we'll keep our left leg long. So just bend up your right leg, and we won't even do a cross today. So your right foot will just stay inside of your left leg. Bring your right hand close to the base of your spine. Lift your left arm up and get, again, as much as you can, surface area-wise, outside of your leg. Choose what arm positioning works best. For me, literally, it's just this arm kind of dangling. And whatever is pushing outside of my leg, that's the part that's like doing most of the work. Lift up nice and tall, keep your left foot flexed, and twist, look past your right shoulder. Just notice one thing though, your right butt cheek. In an effort to like get more of your arm outside of your leg, my butt cheek often lifts up. So see if you can drop that back down. And in some ways that offers you a deeper twist as well, because now your leg is pushing into your arm. Yeah, twist. Good, and let's gently untwist. So nice. All right, so we'll take on a couple of rollbacks. And then that second rollback, let's find ourselves back into that little squat on our toes. Ready? So 2 rollbacks. Ready? So roll back here. Give it a try. Maybe you're here. Maybe you use your fingers against the floor. Your second one, come up onto your toes. You're in that little squat. Ready? Second one. Snap your heels in close. See if you might be able to return to that little squat. All right, so from this place, we're doing an open arm twist, aren't we? So I'm gonna turn this side. All right, take an inhale, lift your arms up high toward the ceiling. Exhale, open arm twist to your left, twist. All right, we have that exalted warrior. I kind of love exalted warrior these days. Right arm all the way up high toward the ceiling. And exhale, right elbow outside of your left thigh. Do it again. Inhale. Right arm all the way up. Feel that twist right here as you gently maybe have your fingers touch down to the floor as well. Exhale. Right elbow outside of your thigh. Right, these are little diagnostics just to feel it out, right? How is your body doing today with the twist? Last time. Inhale. Go right arm all the way up high toward the ceiling. And exhale, find your elbow outside of your thigh. Okay, we're gonna hang out right here. If you're like me, I have like barely anything past my elbow outside my thigh. That's okay. Left hand, push it against your left thigh and see if you can hook as much as your body allows. Right, taking care, we just moved from that pretty deep twist on the other side, so give your body a chance, no frustration whatsoever, right? We're just testing things out, trying it out. And I have to say, like, in the last few months that we've done these twists together, I feel like I used to be very, like, sure which one was my less willing side, my more reluctant twist side, but I have to say, I can't really tell which one's which right now. So either both of them have become worse, or one has become worse, or both of them have become better, or one of them has become better, right? So I'm gonna opt for the latter. All right, from here, again, your right hand is gonna touch down to the floor. Whatever is touching your thigh is your shelf. I'm gonna gently, so gracefully lower this left forearm down to the floor. And as I shift forward, pick up your left foot. So that's the bottom leg foot up off the floor first, and then you pick up your right foot up off of the floor. And then gently return. So I will say again, if you only have a little bit of your arm that's above your elbow, the shelf will feel a little bit like IKEA, a little dicey, right? A little bit unstable perhaps. So the more you can hook your arm outside of your leg, the more solid your foundation, your shelf will be, right? So, and that's even more important than all this arm business that's going on down below, all right? So I'm gonna do it from a different angle. Again, squeeze your knees, your thighs together really tight. Remember, if you don't like any of this, you are working on your twist, and that doesn't even have to be in a squat style. It can be seated, right? Your legs do not have to bear the torture of sitting in this little squat. Okay, so once I feel like I've gotten my best twist, right? I've done all those tricks that I can think of. Lower your right hand down, and you might experiment also with the distance from which you lower your right hand down relative to your legs, right? I feel like sometimes if I'm bringing my hand too close to me, then it feels difficult to lift my legs up. And I'm gonna try to bring my right hand a little bit farther away, maintaining my shelf though, and then lower my left forearm a little bit farther away as well. And then once I shift, I'm coming forward, over, I'm gonna pick up your left, point your toes, pick up your right, point your toes. I really don't think that necessarily pointing your toes matters, but I think every bit counts. Meaning, like, if you can find some engagement, some strength, your body feels a little tighter, and as such feels a little bit lighter. So when you're done with all of that though, just take a seat, straighten out your legs, give it a little shake. All right. And we'll keep this right leg long, bend up this left leg. We're not gonna even do the cross thing, just bend it. It's still in its own lane. Left hand close with your base. Good. In the setup, again, notice your butt cheek, right? Maybe in the transition, you'll have a little bit lift up, but you wanna drop it back down. So lift your right arm all the way up high toward the ceiling, and see if you can start to get more of your armpit as much as possible outside. Drop your left butt cheek down, send your left kneecap back up, and really find a good twist. I always like to think of when I inhale that my belly button is like lifted above the plane of my left thigh, so that when I twist, it's almost like my belly button is peeking out of my thigh and going back in the twist with me. Good, one more breath here. Lift, lift, lift. Twist, twist, twist. Good, gently let's untwist. So nice. How was it, Kristen? No, no, no. Side plank is good. You got it, girl. So we'll move into our little lazy malasana that I oftentimes call it, which is just your feet, your legs just out in this like straddly position, legs bent. And we'll start with this left heel. Bring it in a little bit closer. Send your right leg out straight. Shift and lift. And take it back. Just 2 more times. Shift and lift your butt up off of the floor. And gently lower it down. One more time. Shift and lift. Good, and lower back down. Keeping your right foot flexed. I'll bring it back into view. Take your right hand to your left ankle, right shoulder inside of your right leg. Reach your left arm up and over. Find your nice little stretch. And when you feel your left side body stretch, think of almost exaggerating it so your chest makes its way up to face the ceiling. Good, gently undo it. And we'll move back into our little lazy malasana. This is not a proper term, by the way. I've just decided I'm gonna call it that. All right, scoot your right heel in closer. Send your left leg out to the left. And we'll do our hinging business. So shift, so you can lift your bottom up off of the floor and lower it back down. Remember, you don't have to do this without hands. You can totally use your hands. Hinge forward and lift your butt up. Yes. And gently lower down. We have one more then. Shift and lift. Yup, and lower back down. Your left hand to your right ankle. Think of this left shoulder coming inside of your left leg and lose the crunch. Lengthen as you fold inside of your left leg. Reach your right arm up and over. And if you can very easily see that this right arm is blocking your face, really think of opening up your chest again. And see if you can draw your right arm farther back. So you see you can kind of see the light kind of shading my face. If you draw it back, the light shines on my face. One more breath, lengthen. Good, and then we gently lift ourselves back up. Great. Moving into some more hip opening here. So let's find our lazy malasana again. All right, this time we're gonna find our proper malasana. So bring both heels in a little bit closer. Hinge, and lift. Molly, I remember this has had some improvement, right? And then gently lower yourself back down. Do it again, hinge, and lift. Push into your thighs, lower down. Just one more time. So, hinge as if I'm pulling you into the screen, lift. Elbows out, push into your knees. And then lift your both heels up off of the floor. Good, continue to push your elbows into your legs. Lift up tall through your spine. Feel the sides of your body very long. And lift your arms up high toward the ceiling. Good, hold right there. Hold for 4. Think about your knees pushing out right, left. Hit the back of the room, 3, good. Hold for 2. Hold for 1. Gently lower your heels down, lower your hands down, scoot your heels in even closer. All right, so let your heels touch. Knees push out to the right, to the left, and before we go up, we'll go down. So send your hips back, and think of this just as a forward fold, so hinge at your hips, extend your arms forward, get as long as possible through your spine, reach out through your arms, your fingers. Good. All right, and let's gently take ourselves back up. And then once you're in a relatively upright position, see if you can start to come up off of your fingertips. And maybe bring your hands into the prayer position. Good. From this place, your heels can either touch or they're slightly apart. Move your knees out farther to the right, to the left. Do it again, pulse in, move your knees out farther to the right, to the left. If you prefer hands inside of your thighs, push. Again, go, push. Hold this one here, stay, hold for 4, chest up nice and tall, for 3, use your arms for that gentle manual assist, 2, and 1, so nice. From here, walk your hands down, we're moving into frog. So, find your good place, allow your feet to be your heels to be in line with your knees to be in line with your hips, right? 90-90, 90-90. So as you start to separate your knees, check that your knee to hip to knees, one line, and then you have a 90-degree angle in both legs. All right, you can stay upright if this is your preferred place. Upright meaning on your hands, I'm sorry. If you prefer to come down to your elbows, your forearms, totally do that. And this, remember, is a very gradual process, so this is also not something we need to feel like rushed in. Even like the adjustments and the breaths that we take may help us go a little bit deeper, but it's not something that happens really dramatically, like, I don't know, even a push-up, right? So some of these stretches just take a little bit of time and definitely test our patience quite a bit more than some other exercises or some stretches. So that's just fine. Let's be here for a full minute. Every exhale that you take, see if you can allow your hips to soften. Allow your knees to maybe push out to the right, to the left a little bit farther. Again, because it's gradual, And it's pretty subtle too, right? So if you start to scan your body, it could be the case you might find that your glutes are tense, or something is tense, something is holding you up, rather than letting your hips melt a little bit more open, softer. So if you find that to be the case, right, mentally just try to allow your body to soften, which is definitely easier said than done, right? So, but you deliver the message anyway, best you can. And as this starts to feel a little bit looser, a little bit more comfortable, hopefully it starts to hurt less too, right? Not just from the hip opening perspective, but also what's touching the floor, right? So if it's the hard part of your knee that's touching the floor, it won't feel that great, but if it comes closer and closer to the soft part of your thighs or your inner thighs, it should feel a little bit better, right? A little bit milder. All right. Your next breath, let's get ourselves out of this. So if you're on your elbows like me, I'm just gonna start to push into my hands. If you're on your hands, start to shift more body weight into your hands so that you can bring your knees in a bit closer. Ooh, that's something else, huh? Well, we'll take advantage of these more open hips now as we move into we won't move into downward facing dog actually. We'll move into an asymmetrical position so that we can get started. It doesn't need to be a flow, we'll just do it kind of independently so that we can focus on the actual posture. So come down to your left forearm and your right hand. There are different approaches to do this. We'll do basically asymmetrical scissors. There are different approaches, but we'll try this one first. So you're basically in like a little weird tabletop. Take your right knee and hike it toward your right armpit. So I'm gonna lift up onto my toes so I can get my right leg as high as possible onto the shelf, which is gonna be on this right arm, right? So your left forearm, your right hand, and then once you get this shelf, just pick up your right leg so it's in this bent fashion. And then just like you would move into a push-up, take your high plank, tuck your left toes in, and then start to straighten out your left leg. From this place, shift forward and see if you might be able to pick your back leg up off of the floor. It's kind of really low, right? So the higher you can hook this right thigh over, I actually felt the moment that I shifted forward, I was like, oh my God, I'm totally losing my shelf. So let's try this approach, see how it goes, and we'll try a different approach and see if our shelf stays a little longer. All right, so I'm gonna try for a higher shelf, right? So all the way up on my shoulder. And then once I've done the tuck, all that thing, shift forward and pick your left leg up off of the floor. That felt a little bit better for me. Notice how much you do need to shift forward. So try it and see how it goes. If this is not working, I want you to try asymmetrical crow, which is super fun actually. It has a similar feel because this left arm is severely bent, right, with your left forearm touching the floor, but it's kind of a fun thing to play around with, and it looks pretty cool too. So if you're doing crow, I would start with again, this weird tabletop situation, and then come up onto your toes. I'm gonna do my right side first as well, right? So come up on my toes, I'm gonna really walk it in close, get my shelf first, shift forward, hike my left foot in, and then just touch my left knee to my left tricep, right? And then I'm up off of the floor. But you see how bent my left arm is. So we have asymmetrical scissors, we have asymmetrical crow. I didn't forget with the asymmetrical scissors, there's another approach to it. Did not forget you. Let's try that asymmetrical crow once again. I'm gonna show you from this perspective though. So with your left forearm down, again, I'm just repeating what I did earlier, that just did. My right knee is gonna come up first. So you only see the left-hand side, but because the other time you saw the right side, I'll see the left side this time. So And once I'm already up here with my right shelf, I'm gonna just touch my left knee into my left tricep, and there's my asymmetrical crow. And I, again, also like find this much more stable than crow. I know that's not hey pal, I know that's not like a very popular like sentiment, but I really do feel like crow itself is quite like tricky, but the asymmetrical one feels quite a bit more stable to me. So how do you feel this? How are you hooking your leg over your shoulder or just bounce? Yeah, exactly. So for this asymmetrical crow, how are you hooking your leg? So I start from this like tabletop position, right? So I'm gonna tuck my left toes in just to prep, right? But it's really this, whichever your hand is your base, is where your right leg is gonna get that biggest shelf, right? That's your like, the over 50% of it. So once I'm here, how am I hooking my leg? I'm really just hiking it up as much as I can. And also, not only am I hiking my right leg, I'm lowering my right shoulder down. So we're meeting halfway basically, right? So I'm crouched down, but I'm still only on my right hand and not on my right forearm, right? So once I'm crouched down, it's just my left forearm. And then once I have this shelf, I'm just gonna hike my left foot in closer and then pick my left toes up off of the floor as well. The left, because this one is like right side dominant, the left one is almost there just to lift my leg up off of the floor. That's not the actual shelf. That one is definitely, whichever your hand is propped up, is the one where we create the actual shelf, right? Where the dominant like balance part of it is happening. So try those, and I'll do the other side for sure. If you're finished with this side, you can totally move on to the other side as well. For that thing I didn't want to forget, which was the different approach to the asymmetrical scissors. That is a mouthful. You can come up into like sort of a warrior one position. So your right leg is, I'm still working on that first side, okay? So where your right leg is bent, so again, this is gonna be my right arm with the shelf. I'm gonna approach it like I'm putting a backpack on. So use my right hand to kind of push, really hike it up there. And really the challenge I think here is unhooking this foot from this situation. So if you prefer not to do that, you can start with your hand on the inside. The only thing is that this might feel like it's less of a shelf. It might be easier to fall out. So this is like the deeper backpack. You need to come down to your left forearm though, right? So this is the asymmetrical portion of it. And if you can lower your hips down enough, apply some weight, shift, and lift your left leg up off of the floor. It's so darn low. So just when you thought all the other arm balances were super face to floor, this is like even more face to floor. But hopefully if you're working with like a carpet base, or if you have a pillow underneath you, you don't have sort of that mental block. Sometimes it is a little bit tricky because you're like, well, like my face, my teeth, I get it. Okay, so if we're starting to work the other side, it'll be your then right forearm and your left hand. Remember, anytime it's your hand that's propped, that's gonna be the side that bears more of the weight or does a lot of the work in terms of your shelf. So we'll start with the asymmetrical scissors. We're doing kind of like a bent leg scissors, right? So sometimes scissors, you generally see the both legs completely straight. We're just bending our front leg. It makes it a little bit less complicated. So your right forearm down, your left hand down. I'm starting in this like tabletop situation. I'm gonna just bring this left foot forward and hike this left knee. Really hike this left knee until I feel sort of almost like the crook of my knee is hitting my armpit, right? Or shoulder area, right? So these two angles touch. And then once I'm there, I'm gonna shift forward, prop my back toes, shift, pick up my left foot, lean and lift. And you might find that just, I feel like fresher right now on this side. So just right now that felt a little bit better than my last round on the other side. And it could be just that I'm fresher, or it could be that like one side maybe feels a bit stronger than the other side in terms of supporting your weight. So again, you can start in a tabletop, right? Your right forearm down, your left hand down. You're hiking this left foot up, maybe letting your left shoulder droop down to help. And as you droop down though, avoid the rounding. You're just kind of lowering yourself down. So this is like still a pretty long spine. And then you tuck your back toes in, shift, pick your front foot off, shift even more, and see if you can pick your back leg up. So we'll try the asymmetrical crow, and then we'll move into that second approach. So feel free, by the way, to take any breaks, any shakes, any circles, whatever you want to do in between, because it is a lot on your arms, but hopefully it's less taxing on your wrists themselves. Somehow I find that I'm much more stacked in the asymmetrical position as opposed to both arms when I feel like I'm like very much overextended. So asymmetrical crow. I think it looks really pretty and it's a fun one to do. Everything's really baby. So your right forearm, your left hand, starting in that tabletop sort of situation. And then I'm doing that same shelf as scissors. The reason I showed both sides, by the way, of the angles, I should say, of this is because the way that right knee comes in is really quite funny. It's like a tap, tap, tap. So I like to be on my toes already, both sets of toes. Once I have that shelf, I'm tapping, 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 shifting forward, and then lift your right toes up off of the floor. It's like a funny, like tap, tap, tap. I feel like I'm a little bird with that right knee. Yes, I love it, Kristen. It's really pretty also. I think it's a really like lovely aesthetic. Although I know we're not here about like aesthetics or whatever shapes, but if that's a bonus, who cares? It's wonderful, right? So I'm gonna show you from this other angle that's not as like, that's more like you're like, why are you showing me from this angle? Because that sort of second leg is trying to tap, tap, tap and just moves forward. It's kind of like the ketchup and mustard thing, like the tomatoes. I don't know. Do you remember that thing where the like little tomatoes are falling behind and then the mom says, ketchup, ketchup, you know, ketchup, ketchup. That was terrible. Anyway, your left knee goes way up high for your shelf. So that's your priority. And then you're tap, tap, tapping with this right knee. I'm gonna show you from this angle. So you shift, you have your first shelf, and then tap, 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 come forward, lean a little bit more and pick up that bottom leg. And you'll see that that second leg, right, is like so just hovering off of the floor. It's like barely off, right? So it's just like a funny approach. All right, so our second approach to the scissors. So the scissors, if you want to start with this warrior one position, right? So hips a little bit higher, not super deep. You're just taking this left arm and wearing your backpack. So as much as you can use the C shape of your left hand and continue to get your left shoulder underneath your left leg. And then lower your right forearm down. All right, prepare, you start to sink deeper into it. Take your left toes off the floor. You gotta shift quite a bit more forward. Pick your right leg up off the floor. My lips are literally like less than a centimeter off of the floor. So try that. I do think, again, it feels a lot better than both hands for some reason for me. But you might tell me different. A lot of people say like crow, just like regular crow, is like your most basic arm balance, and my own personal experience is that it is not that easy. Just your regular crow. I think these asymmetrical ones are quite a bit more accessible for me. So that's my experience. What do I know? So give your shoulders a nice little shake here. That was a lot for sure. And then we'll just do, oh my gosh, let's see how we'll do with this. Inhale, arms go all the way. It's just a stretch, but I haven't done it in a long time. Let's bend this left arm, right hand to your left elbow, and just give yourself a little lean. This is not the part. So as you crawl your left fingers down your back, release that right hand. Let's see what we can do with these right fingers crawling up our back without any assist from a prop or anything. Let's see what happens. Not gonna lie, this is not terrible. It could have been worse. So let me know what you feel in this. For a long while, when we weren't doing all this stretching together, I could not do this with my right arm. It just was unwilling. And now even when I have a scratch on my back, the first thing I think is like, I can't scratch it because I don't have access. But actually reaching my fingers has now given me confidence. Maybe when I have an itch on my back, I can go ahead and just scratch it. And then gently release. Although you can argue that not scratching it is a practice of yoga as well, right? Letting it all go and just enduring. So you can always justify, right? Practicing the yoga however you practice it. Left hand to your right elbow, and let's give ourselves just a gentle lean. So hopefully for us, this side will be a little bit more accessible, whatever our first side experience was, because we're doing our left arm next, right? So once you find yourself at a pretty good place with your fingers down your back, let go, and then take your left arm and crawl it up your back. And the reason I say that is if you are right dominant, somehow I feel like generally it is the case that that arm is just a little bit less willing when it comes to this back scratching move. But this left one should be, if it's not your dominant side, hopefully a little bit more accessible. Keep your chin lifted, pull your navel in. Good, good, good. And gently release. Nice. All right, give me some circles of your shoulders back. And then give me some circles forward. Good. I'll take an inhale, arms go all the way up. Exhale, take your hands back behind, interlace your fingers, lift open your chest. From this place, we'll forward fold. So I'm gonna lean, step back a little bit. Forward fold all the way down, let your forehead touch the floor. And then reach your knuckles up high toward the ceiling. One more breath. Good, gently release your arms down, lift your upper body up. Good, inhale, arms go all the way up high toward the ceiling. Exhale, give me a cactus, lift your chest. Inhale, arms go all the way up. Push it out, right, left, lower it down. Oh, that felt so good. Good, thank you for being here. Let me pause this. Yes, great, Molly. Molly wrote she felt like the asymmetrical arm balances require more confidence, but agree that they're actually more accessible. And it's so true. I mean, everyone's experience is different for sure, but I do think that like your face is so much closer to the floor, so it feels a little bit daunting with the asymmetrical ones. But somehow, like, because you have like one like surface area side that's stronger or deeper or more, and then one small surface area side, it sort of balances things out a little bit. You can afford to lean maybe a little bit more than you could on just a straight up symmetrical side. That's a great point. And I also think like it's great to just work the asymmetry once in a while, just so that let's say we're doing a push-up. I always use that example, that we're not biased toward one side and that one side doing more of the work for us. So that's always something that's nice, just to observe any differences between our rights and our lefts. Yes, I love it, Kristen. You are a rock star, girl. Good to see you. It's cutting off soon, so I'll see you soon. Tomorrow, it's a date. Okay.